have a GRC, EPM and EAM and BI, Business Intelligence Tools. Ours is a BI tools. In BI, I told you there is a WebI, Crystal, Excelsius and as well as widgets and Visor. So our course is for these 5 tools. I'm going to discuss about these 5 tools on top of different data sources like data warehouse and as well as SAP Business Warehouse, InfoCube and Bex queries. InfoCube and Bex queries. That is our course, and we talked about that is our course. Then let's start one by one tool, and we'll see how to create all the reports in Vivo, Business Objects, Business Intelligence. And before moving to this, I just want to explain the replacements between SAP and SAP Bex and Vivo. SAP Bex and Vivo. SAP Bex and Vivo. Yesterday we talked about this, and and the next one is we'll see how to the differences between Bex and Vivo. Wherever you go, whatever the reporting tool you use, generally the people will create a 3 kind of reportings. One is ad hoc report, and the second one is real time / OLTP. These reports basically people use if there is no data warehouse. If there is no data warehouse, that means you have only OLTP tables. If they requested to create a report, that time you need to go for real time or OLTP reporting. And third one is dashboard reporting. Dashboards. And in SAP, for creating ad hoc reports, ad hoc means it supports for the drill down. In SAP, there's a tool called as the Web Analyzer. In Vivo, there's a tool called as a WebI reporting. For creating WebI reporting, in Vivo you have a tools called as InfoView, Rich Client. These tools you have in Vivo, and for creating real-time or OLTP reporting, in SAP there is a tool called as the Report Designer. In Vivo, we have a tool called as Crystal Reports. For creating dashboards, in SAP there is a tool called as the Web Application Designer, WAD. In Vivo, we have a tool called as Excelsius. This is a new replacements from SAP to Vivo, and as well as SAP side there is a portal called as EP, Enterprise Portal. The people called as EP Portal. In Vivo there is a portal called as the InfoView Portal. I told you, once you created all the required reports, for example in SAP, if you want to create a reports, you have 3 reporting tools: Web Analyzer, Report Designer and WAD. Once you created all these reportings by using different reporting tools, later you need to distribute that reports to desired users therein across the world. That time what you need to do is first create a reports, then whatever the reports you created, that you need to publish in the EP portal, Enterprise Portal, and then that EP portal you need to give access for the users who are there across the world. The EP portals, the users can access with the URL like your Gmail. There is a URL, there is a separate URL for EP. You just need to give a URL for them. They can open the browser and they can see all your reports. In Vivo also same. For example, if you want to create a WebI report, open a Rich Client in your local system and create a WebI report. And if you want to create a Crystal report, please open a Crystal report tool in the local system and create a Crystal report. And dashboards, please open a Excelsius software and create a dashboard. Later, all these three reports you need to publish in the portal called as the InfoView portal, and then give access for the end user. End user can see your reports from InfoView. So now in latest SAP BI/BO, in place of web analyzer, you are going to use your web reporting tools. In place of report designer, you are going to use crystal reports. In place of WAD, you are going to use Excelsior. In place of enterprise portal, you are going to use InfoView. That is your latest replacements from SAP to BO. That's good. Then our course agenda is, we'll see what are all you are going to discuss. We are going to create a web reports on top of data warehouses which are built. I told you, when you talk about BI, BI is a business intelligence. One second. Hello? Yes, Harika. Harika. Ready? Chusara Miru. ఏమంటుందంటే ఇప్పుడు జస్ట్ స్టార్ట్ చేశాను, నేను బేసిక్స్ కూడా చెప్పలేదు, అంటే కోర్సులోకి వెళ్ళా ఇంకా, అందుకని ఇప్పుడు జాయిన్ అవ్వగలరా? ఒక్క నిమిషం నేను చెప్తాను. మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే, నేను మీకు గో టు మీటింగ్ పంపించాను కదా, ప్లీజ్ జాయిన్ మీటింగ్ అని ఉంది కదా, మీకు ఒక URL వచ్చింది కదా, ఇవాళ పంపించాను చూడండి. మీకు ఇప్పుడు ఒకటి పంపించాను కదా మీకు, నేను ఇవాళ ఏ కోడ్ యాక్సెస్ చేసుకునే కోడ్ చెప్పండి మీరు. తప్పండి, ఒక్క నిమిషం, సారీ సార్, నేను ఇప్పుడే పంపిస్తాను, తప్పు పంపించినట్టున్నాను. 386 అని ఉంటుందండి, 386 286 ఒకటి వచ్చి ఉంటుంది చూడండి. మీరు పాత మెయిల్ చూస్తున్నట్టున్నారు, కింద ఉంటుంది చూడండి, 386-82606 అని, 386-682-606, 682-606, 386-682-606. మళ్ళీ పంపించమంటారా? వస్తుంది కదా? అంతే అంతే అంతే. డౌన్లోడ్ అయిన తర్వాత మెయిల్ ఐడి అడుగుతుంది, అది మెయిల్ ఐడి ఎంటర్ చేసి ఓకే జాయిన్ అయిపోతారు. జాయిన్ అయిన తర్వాత కింద మైక్ అండ్ స్పీకర్స్ అనే ఆప్షన్ ఉంటుంది, టెలిఫోన్ మైక్ అండ్ స్పీకర్స్ అని. మీరు మైక్ అండ్ స్పీకర్స్ ఎనేబుల్ చేయాలి ఆప్షన్. ఓకే ఓకే. Okay. Now the thing is, I told you, the BI is not a one technology. BI is an approach. Business intelligence is an approach. Generally, you know how the business will get a business data. The business have a lot of business counters. From there, they'll get a lot of business data. Generally, when you talk about any business, a business will get business data with the business counters. That data will be initially stored in a table called as a OLTP tables. Initially, the data will be stored in OLTP tables. Later, the ETL team will extract all the data and they will load into big database. For example, when you talk about Reliance have 100 branches. In each branch, they will get a data by the customers. Customers, when they selected goods, when they swipe, that will be gone inside in the table called as the OLTP table for that branch. Each branch have a separate database. Then later, the Reliance will take data from different branches and they will load data into a big database is called as a data warehouse. Then later, you need to create R reports. R reports. In earlier, SAP have this kind of architecture. For OLTP, for storing the data from branch, whatever the data the people generated in the branch, for storing the data, SAP creates the tables by using R/3 database, by using R/3 database, and for creating data DWH, they will use a tool is called as a business warehouse. For creating reports, they will use BEX queries, BEX reports, like these reports. Whatever there in Web Analyzer, Report Designer, EP, these tools they will use. Web Analyzer, Report Designer, WAD and EP they will use for reports. But now, the new architecture from SAP is tables they are creating by using R/3. For the ETL, they are suggesting for the people to use BWR, BODS. For the reporting, they suggested to use BOBI reporting, business objects, business intelligence reports, like our WebI reports, Crystal reports, Excelsius, and InfoView. This is the new architecture from SAP BI. Now, that means now you need to create, in place of BEX reports, you are going to create a BOBI reports like WebI report, Crystal, Excelsius, InfoView, on top of DWH, which is created with the BW, business warehouse, or sometimes, sometimes when you talk about other BI, other business intelligence, they'll use Oracle as a database, they'll use Informatica as a ETL tool to build a data warehouse. Then later you can use your BOBI to create a BO reportings. That means when you create your BO reports on top of BW data warehouse, that we call as SAP BO. When you create your BO reports on top of Informatica, Informatica is not from SAP. That time, that BO reports you call as the data warehousing BO reports. That we call as a data warehousing BO reports. So the course is for to create BO reports on top of data warehouse, BO reports on top of SAP. The two we'll discuss now. Okay, that is our course. Okay, that's good. Fine. Yes, you know the course and you know what is the new replacements for SAP BEX in BO. That all you know. But now we are going to start with WebI. WebI. If you want to create a WebI reporting, the mandatory in BO is you need to create a universe. Universe. Earlier in SAP, if they want to create Web Analyzer, they need a BEX query. But for our case, for creating WebI, you need a universe. Their side, if they want to create a Web Analyzer report, they need a BEX query. Now, our customer is requested to create a WebI reports. That time, what you need to do is, first you need to build a universe, then later you can create n number of WebI reports on top of universe. For creating universe, in BO, there is a tool called as a designer. This tool is basically to build a universe. That means the starting point of development in BO is to start to create a universe with the designer. You need to build an universe with the designer. Then only you can create a WebI reports. If you want to build a universe, there is a tool is called as a designer. But fortunate or unfortunate, you have joined in the company, in one company, but client is there across the world. For example, you are there in Australia and client is there in US. How can you create a design universe from your system, and how come you distribute that universe for the customer there in US? Generally what they follow in the real time, they'll maintain a server and client mission. Client mission is your mission, server is which is there in the US. For example, PNG there in US, you are working from Australia. Australia is your client place and US is your server place. There they will install BO servers, BO server software, BO server software. In Australia, in your system, you need to install a software called as the BO client. BO client. Once you install your BO client, you will get all BO front-end plugins. That means you will get Designer, WebI, Crystal, Excelsius, InfoView, and all migration tools also. That all you will get in the local system. Yes, you got all the local clients in the local system. Then for creating designer, you need to access, for creating universe, you need to access what tool from your local system? Designer. Yes, you need to access the designer from your local system. How you can access your designer? In the local system, you have a client softwares. You need to go to Start Programs, Business Objects BA platform. Earlier Business Objects BO, there you have a BA platform client tools. There you have a tool is called as, somewhere you have a designer, universe design tool. This tool is to build a universe. Yes, well and good. You can create a design, you can create a BO universe by using design tool. But first step, when you open design, let me open a design tool. Programs, BA platform client tools. There you have a tool called as a universe design tool. When you access your universe design tool, it will ask you to enter the system name. What is the system name? I told you, you need to create a universe from your local system. Later, you need to publish, you need to export that universe to the server there in US. This system name is basically whatever the server you install used in the US. For example, in the US system, they install the BO server and the system name is Ravan. That means from your client to you are connecting with the server. Client to server. Yes, that's why I gave a server name in my client mission. My server name is Ravan. And your username password, I told you, once you join in the project, the administrator creates one user account for each developer. For example, I am creating universe from my local system and later I am publishing that universe to the development server. That is the case. What I need to do here is I need to enter development system name here, and username is my username and password is my password. For example, Viswa is creating a universe from their local system. He need to enter the development system name in the system name, and username is his username and his password. That means every developer have a separate username password. Who will create that username password in the real time? There is a guy called as the administrator. How the administrator creates a user account, they have a separate tool is called as CMC, Central Management Console. They will access CMC. With the CMC, he can create multiple user accounts for us. For every developer, he will create a one user account. That user account, they will send a mail to us. In the mail, he will give server name and your username, password. Every developer get a separate mail from administrator with the login credentials. Based on that mail, you can come to know your development server name, username and password. Same way, assume I got a username and password from my administrator. My admin give a admin access for me. But in normal scenario, in real time scenario, they don't give a administrator username password for us. They will give only the developer rights for us. Yes. Then later you need to click on OK. That means you enter the BO server name, BO development server name, as well as BO username and BO password. That's all you connected from your client to server now. Client to server. Now whatever you create the universe from the designer, that universe now you can comfortably export to the server name called as Ravan. The reason is from my universe designer I connected with the Ravan server. That's why whatever I create with this universe designer, that I can export to Ravan server. Server name called as a Ravan. That is a way in real time. One guy will create a universe. Later that guy from their client system to client system, they will export the universe to the server. Then later people across the world, in their system they have their own softwares. They can connect with the server and they can access universe and they can create a reports by using InfoView, Rich Client and Excelsius Crystal reports. That's the way the client and server works in BO. Yes, before moving to create this universe, I just want to explain how to create an users and how to give access for the users to the designer tool. Now I have access the designer from my local system and I connected with the server. In the real time, if you want to access a designer and if you want to connect a server with your designer tool, you need a user account in Vivo and as well as you need a access on the designer tool. The two is mandatory. You need a access for designer and as well as you need a user account in Vivo. That will create in real time. The administrator will create a user accounts and the administrator will give a access for Vivo applications. Now our agenda is I am going to create a one user account for you and I am going to give a access for designer tool. Access for designer tool. I'll show you how to create a one user account and I'll show you how to give a access for designer tool in Vivo. For creating user account and providing access for the users, there is a tool in Vivo is called as Central Management Console, CMC, Central Management Console. You just need to open this, but in real time you never get a chance to see this tool. Only the administrator can access this tool, not for us. So once you open the CMC, once the administrator open the CMC, they need to enter their username password and today these guys are not joined now. Okay. Once opened your CMC, the administrator enters administrator username, and as well as the administrator is trying to create a user account for us in the server name called as Ravan development server, and the administrator enters their username, their admin password, and then click on login. This tool is basically for the administration. I'll show you how to create a user account for Visva and how to provide a access for the Visva on develop what you call as Universe Designer tool. Once the administrator log on to the CMC, there they can see in the drop down. In the drop down there is an option called as users and groups. Just the administrator go to users and groups. Go to users and groups. Once he navigated to users and groups, it will open other window. Let me check. Okay. Once you go to users and groups, it will open a new window for creating new users. Then the administrator clicks on create new user. Once they click on create new user, it will ask to give an account name. I'm just giving account name as Visva, and full name is Visva K something, and email address and description for that user. This user belongs to India, and password. I'll give some password. My password is sample123. Initially I gave sample123 password for him. Sample123, and here I selected user must change password at next login. That means once I sent a username and password to Visva can change their password. I gave sample123. Later he can change the password according to his requirement. He can put whatever the password he want. And below I have a connections types. There I have a concurrent user and named user. Concurrent user means the Visva can share his username to multiple users, and multiple users at a time they can connect with the VO with the same username and password. If I put named user, that time the Visva cannot share his username password to multiple user, and multiple user at a time they cannot log in with one user account called as a Visva user account. But concurrent will allow multiple users to access BO with the same user account and password. For example, Visva is the username and password sample123. He distributed to Antony and Suresh. And with three, if I make that user type as a concurrent, we three can access BO at a time with the same user account called as a Visva. If I make user account as named, we three cannot log in at a time with the BO. Only one can log in BO at a time. Whoever first log in, they can stay back with the BO. Remaining two cannot log in with the BO. That is a named. Then you need to click on create and close. Yes, well and good, I created one user account for Visva in my Ravan dev server. That user account you can see in the user list. When you click on user list, there you can see the user account called as Visva, created by this date, and this user belongs to India group. Okay, then later what you need to do is, if you want to give access for the Visva on Universe Designer, you need to go to applications. You need to go to applications. There you have a tool is called as the information designer, and as well as other tools. You can see multiple tools here: dashboard design, crystal report configuration, central management console, and all you have here. Here you have a universe designer tool. If you want to give access for the Visva on universe designer tool, you just need to right click. There you have a user security. Right click user security, add principals. Add principals. Now I am going to give access for Visva on my universe designer. You just need to right click, add and assign security. Add and assign security. Once you give a add and assign security, there it will show multiple access levels. I am going to give a full control for Visva. That means Visva can access the universe designer, and they can connect with the Ravan server, dev server from their local system, and they can create a universe, or they can modify a universe, or they can delete a universe. I gave a full control on the tool. Then apply. Then click on OK. This is the way you can give a access for, you can create a user account, and you can give access for the applications for each developer. Now the Visva developer can access only universe designer tool, not other tools from their local system. From their local system, they can connect BO only from universe designer, not from other tools. If Visva can if Visva access the dashboard designer tool from their local system, and he created the Excelsius dashboard, later if he try to export the dashboard to Ravan server, he cannot export. The reason is he don't have a dashboard designer tool access in server. That's why from his local system, whatever the file you try to export from dashboard designer to server, he cannot. If you want to give access for dashboard designer also for the Visva, again you need to right click user security, same story. That's why I told you, for the developers you need to give all application access. This is the way. For the admin, for the end users, you need to give only one access. What is that? Anthony, tell me what access you need to give for the end users? Customers. Hello? In real time we have two kind of users, right? One is developer, second one is what? Customers, end users. For the developers anyway we'll give all the tool access. The reason is they need to create all kind of reports. But for the end users you need to give only one access. That is what? Always the end users can connect with only what tool? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Viswa, can you hear me?
Yeah, sir.
Hello? What access we need to give for the end user? I told you, for our side we need to get access for the universe designer, whereby Crystal Excelsius.
Yes, we have,
but for end
users we have to give the web.
Exactly. For the end user case, we need to give only BI Launchpad. There is a tool is called as a BI Launchpad in BO. In SAP BO, in the new version of R4, there is a new name for the info view is called as a BI Launchpad. New name is called as BI Launchpad. You just need to give only BI Launchpad access for them. That means always the end users can connect the BO only from BI Launchpad. They can only access your reports, but they cannot create a reports. They cannot create a universe. They cannot create a crystal dashboards, they cannot create a crystal reports. Only they can access your reports from BI Launchpad. For the end users, once you created user accounts for them, you need to give only BI Launchpad access. But for the developer case, you need to give all the tools access to create that reports. Please keep in your mind. For the end users, they will give only info view in R3. In R4, they renamed the info view name called as BI Launchpad. BI Launchpad. They can only, we need to give access for them is only BI Launchpad. Okay. Once you created reports from your local system, you need to publish all reports in the server, and end user can access from where? BI Launchpad. BI Launchpad tool. That is a way the administrator can give access for every end user in the BO server. In the BO server, once they created user accounts for every user, and later that users can access BO server from their client missions. In the developer system, developer have a all software installation. That time the developer can access BO from their local to server with designer to create a universe. If the developer from their local system, if they access the rich client, that means they are creating web report and publishing into the desired server. And crystal also same, you connected with the crystal from your local system, and later you can create your crystal report and you can put in the desired server if you have access. If you have access on Ravan server, you can create crystal report and you can publish in the Ravan server. And Excel is also same. You just need to open dashboard designer client tool in your local system. Once you open dashboard designer, create a dashboard and publish in the server, and the end user can, if you want to publish that dashboard into the server, you need a server access. The end user will connect with the BI Launchpad and with the Ravan server. They can see what are the dashboards you published in the Ravan server. The end user can see from BI Launchpad. That is what happening in the real time. Server, client. Once you created your softwares, once you created your reports, you need to put in the server. The customer can access from BI Launchpad to your server. They can see whatever the files you published in the server, they can see in the BI Launchpad. That is what happening in the real time. Okay. Once the administrator created the user accounts for every developer and every end user, the administrator send you the mail with the username, password and all. Then later what you need to do is, if you want to create a web report, in SAP, in SAP BO, I told you need a universe. That universe you can create with what? Universe designer tool. I told you, anyway, assume I have already existing universe. I'm just opening the existing universe. Import, browse, from which server? Ravan. In the Ravan server I have a lot of folders. I just selected the web universes folder. There I have a one universe is called as the ePassion universe. That means this universe already there, that is exported to the Ravan server. Once you created this universe, you need to create manually in the real time by using designer tool. For the time being, please assume you have already universe designer, already have a universe. Later what you need to do is, once you have a universe, you need to create your web report on top of universe, Excelsius dashboards on top of universe, and crystal reports also you can create on universe. But most of the time the crystal reports please create on OLTP tables, not on data warehouse. Always you need to create on top of OLTP tables. Okay. Now anyway, you have universe. I'll show you how to create a web report by using rich client, and how to create a dashboard on top of universe, and how to create a crystal report on top of universe. If you want to create a WebI report on top of Universe, you just need to go to BI platform. There you have BI client tools, or BI client tools. There you have a tool called as Web Intelligence Rich Client. You just need to open Web Intelligence Rich Client. I told you for creating WebI report you have a WebI Rich Client. For creating real-time reports you have a Crystal Reports. For creating dashboards you have a Dashboard Designer in BO. Once you open your Web Intelligence by using Rich Client, when you open a Rich Client, by using Rich Client you can create Web Intelligence report. See, here you have a Web Intelligence. In real time, who creates the reports? The developer creates the reports. Then later, once they created the report, they'll put in the server. Once they put in the server, the end user can access the reports by using BI Launchpad tool. But from our side, in our system, you need to open a Rich Client to create a WebI report. Connect with the Rich Client and create a WebI report. Put in the server called as Ravan, and customer from BI Launchpad, they will connect with the Ravan server and they will access your reports. Now I'll show you how to create a report and how to publish in the Ravan and how the end user access your reports. First, I'm a developer. From my client, I have access with the WebI Rich Client. Now I'm going to create a new report on top of Universe called as the eFashion here. You just need to click on eFashion. Then once you selected eFashion, it will ask you to enter the username password. Please enter username and password. You need to enter your username password. The reason is this report you are creating from your local system, and you need to give a server name. Once you created the report with the Rich Client, that you are going to publish in Ravan server. That's why you need to give server name as Ravan and username as your username and password is your BO password. Click on login. That means from the Rich Client, now you are trying to connect with the Ravan server. Once you connected with the Rich Client with the Ravan server, then create a report and export that report to Ravan server. Later, the end user can access your report with the BI Launchpad. The end user will open BI Launchpad. They will enter their username password on the Ravan server. That means the end user from BI Launchpad, they will connect with the Ravan server and they can access your reports with the BI Launchpad. Okay, anyway, let me create a one report. Year, quarter, sales revenue, then run query. You run the query. Now you can see the data. This we call as a report. This report you are going to publish in the server. How you can publish in the server? In the save, you have a save or publish to option. When you click on publish to option, it will display the folders there in the Ravan server, and I'm going to publish in the tool name called as different UK folder. The folder name called as UK folder. I just clicked on UK folder and I gave a name called as new document. Click on save. That means now you have created as a report with the year wise, quarter wise sales revenue, and you published in the server name called as Ravan server. Very next step, how the customer will access your reports. Tell me, Mr. where the customer can access your report? Hello? Mr. Are you there?
Yeah, sir.
Now you created the report by using Rich Client.
Yes, sir.
And you put in the Ravan server. How the customer will access your report?
Through WebI, sir.
Exactly. Through InfoView or
Through
now?
InfoView, yes, sir.
Through InfoView they'll access. Now in R4 you have a tool is called as what? BI?
BI Launchpad.
Launchpad. BI Launchpad. Here you have a, see when you go to here, there is a option called as what? BI Launchpad. But in R3 the name of this is InfoView. And the end user can access BI Launchpad with URL. They need not to install any software. How the end user access work BI Launchpad, in the real time, they will open a browser in the local system. In their local system, they will open a browser. In the browser, they will type a URL for BI Launchpad, and they will enter their username password, not RBO username password. They need to enter their username password. They will enter their username password. Once they click log on, now they are in a portal called as a BI Launchpad. In the BI Launchpad portal, they can see the folders whatever there in the Ravan server. The reason is from BI Launchpad is connecting with the Ravan server. There they can see whatever the documents they have. They just need to click on documents. Once they click on documents, it will display the available folders in the Ravan server. If the user have access on that particular folder, the user can see that particular folder. Now when you see here, they have all folders. Now there is a folders. As they can see public folders. In the public folders, you publish the report into UK folder. The name called as new document. The customer can see your report with the BI Launchpad. That means you created this report with the WebI-Rich client, this tool, and you published in the server. But the end user accessing your report with what tool? What is this tool name?
BI Launchpad.
That means you need to create Crystal report with the Crystal report tool and publish in the Ravan server. Excel's dashboard you need to create with the dashboard designer and publish in the server. And your WebI report with the rich client and publish in the Ravan server. And Universe you need to create with the designer and publish in the Ravan server. But customer can access all your files from where? Yeah. Only one point access for the customer is what? BI
Launchpad.
But for our case, we need all the softwares. But customer need not to install any software. Customer can access all your reports only one tool, that is BI Launchpad. For that, they need not to install any software. The reason is BI Launchpad is a WebI tool. That tool they can access with the URL. If you are accessing a software with the URL, you need not to install that software in the local system.
Sir, can we create the reports through BI Launchpad?
Yes, we can create still.
Okay.
Here when you see here, you have applications, right?
Yes.
Here you can use WebI-Rich client and all. The advantage with the R4 is, in R3, with the info view, you can create only WebI report. Agree?
Yeah.
You cannot create Crystal reports, you cannot create Excel's dashboards.
Yes.
But the advantage with the latest version is, you can create all your reports with the BI Launchpad. You can create WebI report, you can create Crystal reports, but you cannot create a dashboard, Excel's dashboard. But you can create a Bex web applications and all with the BI Launchpad. Okay. That advantage they give. Okay. In R3, you can create a BO reports in two ways, right? WebI reports. Either rich client or info view. Same way here also, you have two tools. Either you can use rich client or you can use what? BI Launchpad to create a reports. But customer can use only what? Only BI Launchpad. Agree?
Yes.
That advantages they give. But desktop intelligence is no more. In R3 you have a desktop intelligence, right?
Yes, sir.
Desk key. But in R4 you don't have a desk key. See. No desk key. Do you have any desk key? No. No desk key tool.
No.
Agree?
Yes.
Okay. That is a way is happening in real time. Yes. Very next step. I just want to explain. Later we'll see one by one step. Don't worry. Now I want to create a report with the Crystal reports. In BO, they give an option is called as a Crystal reports for Enterprise 4.0 as well as Crystal Reports 2011. You just need to click on Crystal Reports 2011. In R3, you are going to use a Crystal Report version is called as 2008. But in R4, the tool name called as Crystal Reports 2011. The latest version they give in R4, that is Crystal Reports 2011. If you want to create a new Crystal Report in by using Crystal Reports tool, the mandatory is you need this software in the local system. But customer need not any software. They can access your reports by using BI Launchpad. But for our case, we need to open a Crystal Report. Click on blank report. When you click on blank report, here it will display the connection names. Just expand, create new connection. Now I am trying to create a Crystal Report on top of my Universe. If you want to create Crystal Report on top of Universe,